This is the J2M5, and it might be one of my favorite planes that I picked up during the recent sales. It's a premium rank 4, battle rating 4.7 fighter for Japan. And since Japan is one of the only nations I didn't have researched, I kind of accidentally grinded out Japan with this thing. Not all the way, but we're getting there. I don't really have that much to say about the plane itself because it does just about everything really well. It climbs extremely well, has a very good turn rate, has extremely powerful guns, two 30mm Type 5s, which honestly is a big part of the reason this plane is so fun. And since this plane climbs so well, you can kinda just choose who you want to fight. You don't have to fight people if you don't want to, really. However, there is the exception of the XP50. Those of course have nutty climb rate as well, but they get an air spawn. It is kind of funny though, even if you have a couple XP50s above you, most of the time they're not that experienced. And a lot of the time you can kinda just get the XP50s to overshoot, and then you just click on them with the 30mm cannons. I'm gonna reverse him.
Alright, you're mine. I have 2 engines in this bitch. I am not stalling out.
I reversed him.
XP50 behind you.
That's okay. I'm gonna reverse him too.
Where? No, because I'm gonna shoot him.
Snuck up on. Hey, there's never I did.
Guys,
See?
what's
Oh, that
the...
was actually. But other than the XP50s, the only other plane that really gave me a lot of trouble in this thing were experienced players in the pure Mirsky, because that plane is just incredible. I'm also about to be publicly shamed for the way I pronounce that again, so I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, like I said, it does just about everything really well. However, a lot of things can outdive you and outrun you, and you do compress pretty badly above like 600 kilometers an hour. But like honestly, most of the time none of this stuff even really matters because you're above everybody. And when you're above everybody in props, you're gonna be okay as long as you don't make any dumb mistakes, which I do quite often because I have a mild case of zoomer brain and cannot hold my attention on anything for more than 30 seconds, which is also why I've been playing an unhealthy amount of J7E lately. And frankly, top tier is really just what I'd rather be playing now anyways, because of all the little things that annoy me in props, but that's a topic for another day. At this point in the video, you're probably expecting some gameplay, and you would be correct to do that because that's what I've got for you now. This first game is honestly just kind of funny because it was probably the most effortless 7-piece I've ever got in my life. I only have one dogfight in this entire match that actually displays the strengths of the J2M5. I'm really just showing this game because I want to show you guys that not all the time does it take skill to do well. Sometimes it just takes being in the right place at the right time. Anyway, first off, we're going to take some long-range shots at this T-18, because honestly, why not? I've got the meme guns, why not use them? As long as I don't full commit in the head-on, we're all good. It looks like 2 of the rounds hit, and honestly, I'm surprised I didn't kill him right there. And what's even more surprising is that he doesn't even seem to really be crippled. If I left him alone, he probably would have been able to make it back to base and repair, or one of my teammates would have got him. Now, most of the time I wouldn't do this, but I kind of try and chase him down and finish him off. Normally I just leave him alone and try and go kill fighters. This time the 30s do their job and now he's out of the game. And now it's time to do what I actually like to do, kill a bunch of fighters. Now what's really funny about this game is that I didn't even really climb that high this game. I killed that T-18 and now I'm still only at like 4K. But being only at 4K, I'm either at the same altitude as the enemies or higher than the rest of them. Like that Yak 3 right there is the only one that's actually at my altitude, and he's fighting, it seems. So he's going to be losing that altitude, well, right now actually. And if y'all have been looking at the kill feed, slowly but surely my team's kind of being wiped out, so I didn't really have that much hope for this match, to be honest, considering there's still so many of the enemy team left. But it doesn't really matter because I'm literally about to be handed kills. Start heading toward this Yak 3, hopefully gonna shoot him down, but I'm keeping my eye on the A21 to my left. But I'm at the superior energy state to every single one of these people, so all I gotta do is go up, and he's really not even gonna be able to get his guns on me. He gets close, but not close enough. I start looping over on top of him, only to realize that a very large portion of the entire team is right in front of me. I choose the rearmost target because even though I had an easier shot on somebody else, this eliminates the risk of me being shot. Kill the Yak 3, 1, ITP, 2, and J21, 3. Actually, it's my second, third, and fourth kill because I already killed the T-18 earlier. But after that, there's still a lot of players left, and just about my whole team has already been wiped. Pulling away from this mess, the only ones that actually commit to following me are the Yak 3 and the P-47. For once in my life, I actually have some patience and put some distance between myself and the 2 planes behind me. I knew one of them was either going to pull off, or I was going to get enough distance to where I feel confident dogfighting them both at the same time. P-47 pulls off, and now I'm going to initiate a fight with the Yak 3. I put my nose down to try and gain a little bit of speed going into this fight. I know the Yak 3 is a pretty good plane, at least I remember it being good the last time I played it a long time ago, but generally speaking, Russian planes aren't really built for altitude, and we are relatively high up. And I've been told the J2M5 has pretty good high altitude performance, though I haven't really been able to confirm that much just because high altitude fights don't really happen that often in this game anymore. Anyway, Yak 3 gets behind me and I thought he was kind of going to get his guns on here, but I was also sort of banking on having a little bit more energy than he does. He almost gets his nose on me here, takes some shots, but he couldn't quite get the lead in, and now he's way too slow to pull in. He starts putting his nose down and I'm still holding this altitude, so I know I've pretty much got it in the bag at this point. Drop the throttle to make sure I stay far enough behind him, keep the flaps down to get my nose in, take a shot, and he's out. Now I just gotta figure out where the last remaining players are. I believe there's 3 left at this point. Eventually I did hit an order and found the A21 who was taking off from his airfield. Eventually I catch up and shoot him down. Guess he just didn't see me coming. Last guy's in a Doe 335, and he's just ground pounding, so that's going to be another effortless kill. That's the end of a 7K match, and it's probably the easiest 7K I've ever had. I straight up only had to put effort in at one point there fighting that Yak 3. You know what, let's do another game. Just like before, I'm above everybody in the immediate vicinity, so I'm kind of just going to be untouchable. But more than anything, I feel like that's just kind of prop gaming in general. Try engaging this Yak 9, but he dives out to the deck, and I don't really feel like losing all my altitude, plus there's a Spitfire right here. Lucky for me, the Spitfire is going to make this extremely easy because he's stalling out trying to shoot a B-17. I guess he just didn't feel like looking around at all. Whatever though, I'm not complaining about a free kill. As soon as he's dead, look behind me and realize the Yak 9 that I thought dove down to the deck actually didn't do that, and he is behind me. But he is a Yak 9 after all. I am a J2M5. All I have to do is start climbing away and I will pull away from him. He's taking a few shots at me. Honestly, any one of those could have hit. I've been killed by Yak 9s from about this far before while climbing away because those guns do have some range. And of course they do pack a punch when they hit. And he's gonna keep trying to climb up for me and he just doesn't have the engine power or the speed he needed to do it. So just like last game against that Yak 9, I'm gonna drop the flaps, get my nose in, take a couple shots, and he's dead. The next couple of minutes were spent relatively idle. There was no one really around that I could actively seek out, but I did eventually spot this Purimersky. And yes, I'm aware I'm saying that wrong. Honestly though, I'm kind of scared of these things. I have more trouble with these things than I think any other plane in my time playing the J2M5. It seems like a lot of solid prop players choose the Purimersky as one of their favorite fighters. And honestly, I get it. I really like it. It is really good. Purimersky takes it downwards, and I've got a pretty good bit of speed, which is the only reason I'm actually going to be able to pull my nose in here. I almost don't. If I was any slower than this, I would not have been able to pull in, and I'd probably be a dead man. Anyway, pull in just enough, take the shot, and he's dead. The rest of the game was pretty uninteresting. It was 2 BE6s and then this SU6. And that's all it was. I did end up killing all of them, so that's, 6K great and all, but, 3 of them were bombers, or ground pounders, or whatever the SU6 is, I forgot. So it didn't exactly make for the most interesting final parts of a game. But frankly, I found a lot lately that prop gaming sometimes is pretty uninteresting. Every once in a while you get one of those really, nice fun dogfights, but it's not as common as I'd like. Okay, so the J2M5. This thing is lots of fun, and in my opinion, it is very, very strong, and I'm very glad I picked it up during the sale. Although I have to admit, I probably wouldn't have bought this if it didn't have the cannons, because, man, the cannons are really just, they're fun. They annihilate everything, and it's awesome. And I actually meant to say this in the intro of the video, but honestly, I had a tough time getting the aim down because I was over-leading so much. Lately, I've been playing a lot of planes with relatively low velocity cannons, so you have to lead a lot more for those. Plus, I've been playing jets a lot too, which, gotta lead more because everyone's going faster. Even when I found I was starting to compensate my aim a little bit, I was still leading too much. But once I was starting to figure out the guns a bit, it became a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and typically at the beginning of matches, you can climb fast enough to where you're at the height the bombers on the enemy team are at, so you can usually pick up 1 or 2 of those just on your way to altitude. Oh yeah, and something else I left out. The ammo count, you only get 84 rounds. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but you can stretch 84 rounds a very long way in this plane. Like, these guns one-shot everything, and if you just are careful with your aim and don't spray a bunch, you'll always have ammo left over, and you can get, 5, 6, 7 kills and be fine. Sometimes they can be a little goofy with them being wing mounted, so the convergence can be an issue sometimes. Like, sometimes planes will slip right through my guns, and I could never really decide on an actual convergence distance that I really liked. A lot of the time I tend to alternate between 4 and 600. Not like it matters that much though, because those of you who are regulars of the channel know for some reason, sometimes I literally cannot aim a thing, but I digress. Okay, I touched on this a little bit earlier, but some of the biggest threats you're going to face are XP50s. Luckily, most of the time, they don't really know what they're doing. And then, of course, the Purimerskys. Now, that might just be the players that are playing them, because it seems like every time I encounter one, usually they actually know what they're doing, and I'll get my ass handed to me. Because I tend to forget that those things are incredible energy fighters. The 3 or 4 times I've gotten fights with a single Purimersky at once, I'll get slow, Pure Mercy will get slow, and the Pure Mercy just has the crazy low speed control, and then I'm stalling out, and then he's behind me, and then I'm just kind of dead. Probably skill issue though, Lamau. Alright, I think I've said all I need to say about the J2M5. I don't think I'm forgetting anything important. So that's gonna be it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.